Mariko.
What?
I know that we've made a lot of money from 1, 2, 3, from that disastrous song that Roman wrote for me. But you can't keep spending all of the money that I've earned on these procedures of yours. I'm starting to think that this is a desperate cry for help.
Well then, Sumku, help me.
Gosh! Why did this become my life?
Well, Sumku, since the world was supposed to be ending, I figured, why not go all out? Next, the facelift will just take years off. I'll be your beautiful young bride again, Sumku. Speaking of the end of the world, that Sakura girl. Definitely not the best you've ever come up with, sweetie.
She's my Utahime! She is my Utahime, and I will not have you speak badly of her. She's the best thing to ever happen to this group. Don't you ever speak of her badly again. I'm leaving.
I don't want to smudge my makeup. Oh God. Oh, the lips haven't even finished healing. I need an outlet. I need a way to express myself. Zuko's fine book. This damn book! Will you leave me alone like this? If you continue to leave me so lonely, I will fly to a place far from here. Please! I need help. I can't take it anymore! I waited so much. I'm miserable. Oh, Sukyo. I hope you read this.
This is the best piece of music that I've ever read in my entire life. Did I write this in my sleep? I must have. Oh my goodness. I have to share this with Roman! Roman, I must share this music that I found in my book.
This piece of music!
Welcome to Morning Musume Monday, everybody. My name is Jeremy.
And I'm Reina.
And this week we are reviewing Morning Musume's 52nd single,
Help me! This week, your costumes are brought to you by Jeremy-chan.
I make them every week. This is the very first single for Ora Sakura, and I was so impressed with her voice. Yes, I would have liked a little bit more, but I also think that this song effectively was like Eigaoya's Nude, where we were introducing a member and hoping that it would work out well, and so we were giving this member a slight line differentiation from the rest of the group. And I really liked the way that this one was executed. Unfortunately, I feel like they put so much echo and so much processing into her voice that we did not get a strong enough idea of what it actually sounds like in the recorded studio. Thankfully, the lives proved everything that I thought about Sakura to be true, that her voice is banging. I did like in the very beginning of the dance when they were starting it off, and then they all kind of get on their knees and point their arms up in the air, and then Sakura burst out.
They birthed Sakura. I love me a good animal print pattern.
I thought that the color schemes for this video were a little bit awkward at first, because I saw the pictures and I'm like, cheetah print was pink. That's kind of tacky. But with the way that the green screen hit it all, I thought it looked really pretty.
To me, this MV, and even this song, if you really think about it, is kind of a darker song. I mean, it's written in that same techno-pop sound that the last few have been, but this one there's something kind of dark about it. There's that really creepy interlude where there's like the voice talking and it's like getting processed. It's like, and you're just like, oh god, no. And then they even made it creepier in the video because it's all like the moon is setting and it's all dark and they're like blipping out. It's a little offsetting that it's such a dark music video and it's kind of a dark sounding song. And then they're in ruffle pink and cheetah print. And the cheetah print and the pink really makes them pop out of this kind of gritty technology world. I like how each girl sort of had her own individualized costume. The whole theme of the music video though was almost like they're not real people, like they're Vocaloid projections.
An ex-girl.
They're every girl. Because even in the beginning, they're just like just.
Reina's little off-the-shoulder thing that she's been getting lately. Ooh, so pretty,
girl.
And I liked the kind of sporty look of the 10th gen, and even Haruna looked a little bit more classy with hers. That was kind of more slimming. But I was interested to find out why all of the girls had stomach showing, except Riho and Kanon. They were the only two, and they're the same age as everybody else. It's not like they're like an abnormally young age. They're older than Kudo, but she got big tummy exposure.
Aside from its eerie similarities to 1, 2, 3 musically, I really like this song. I really like Sakura's line, and I like when Reina does the second line. But unfortunately, some troll pops out of nowhere and goes.
My impression of that line is we had the same tragedy that happened in Nanchate Renai, where we had that really pretty line from Aichen and she's singing, and then all of a sudden Koharu comes banging in with her voice that's all up and down. And Koharu didn't have a bad voice, and it wasn't the best, but it wasn't terrible. But pinned next to Aichan's voice, who was so full, Koharu's weak voice stood out so much worse. And I think what happened here is we had a very unfortunate situation where Sakura's voice is very strong and powerful. She has a lot of vibrato to it. But Riho has zero talent singing at this point because her voice is so destroyed by Sunku and whoever is telling her that it's okay to sing that high. And so paired next to Sakura's voice, it didn't sound good. And I think that she would have sounded better if Reina had been a barrier between the two of them.
She could have followed up Sayumi and still have sounded like utter shit.
In the lower registers of the song, I think that she sounded okay. In the higher registers of the song, she sounded terrible and strained. She felt like she was really trying hard to put out those lines and it just wasn't coming out.
Ooh, talking about Riho bores me. Alright. It's the end of an era. Everything's packed. It's time for Roman to go on his way. Kiari, here I come.
Oh, Roman! I'm so glad to see you here. I've been looking for you all morning. You see, I found the most amazing lines in my book that I think I've ever read in my entire life. But that's not why I came over here to see you. You see, Roman, these last 15 years have been very hard on me. You see, I've had a lot of pressure from my wife, if you could even call her that anymore. And sometimes you pressure me a little bit more than I deserve to be. But I'm sorry for everything I've ever done to you, Roman. I've never really taken you... I mean, I've taken you for granted so much, and I've never really appreciated the work that you do, and you know, I really think of you as the most special thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life, and without you I don't think Morning Musume would be where it is now, and you know, I'd be stuck with the same boring girls and singing the same boring 90s songs, and you know, you've really made Morning Musume what it is today, and I'm so sorry for everything I've ever done to you, Roman. And, you know, I have to go and continue to work on my music video because, you see, we've run out of money and it hurts me quite badly, but I need to go work on my music video and green screen. Green screen, lots of it, because you were so right on that green screen thing. Thank you, Roman, for everything you've ever done. I'm so sorry. So sorry for everything I've ever done bad to you.
Screw you, Kiari. I'm staying with Sunku.
Woo! Sayumi and Fukumura sounded
Speaking of Sayumi, the girl looked like sex on fire. Mizuki looks really classy and gorgeous.
I liked watching Mizuki. I thought she had the most presence of everyone. Her and Sayu had the most presence. I feel like everybody else just kind of looked a little bit bored in this video.
Sakura is new, so it's getting used to her. Eri and Ayumi had their long-necked, big-eyed alien look going again, which it works. I mean,
they looked very pretty.
They look pretty. They just look like a little alien to me, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like they don't look quite human.
I think the way that the CGI hits them too. I don't think that they take CGI and green screen very well. Haruna and Misaki were like totally invisible to me. I feel like I barely noticed them at all. Misaki a little bit more because she was more in the front of the dance for most of it, but I feel like she just really fell back, and I'm so sad that she's not going to be in the lives for a while because she's not feeling well. So I hope that she feels better very soon. Poor Kanon.
The only reason I noticed Kanon was because I didn't notice Kanon. Because they showed her olive twice. And even though she was in the dance shots, she was in the back, and because of the way the dance shots were going, you couldn't see her because all of the ruffles from all the other girls' costumes covered her up. So basically, I only noticed that Kanon was there because of the absence of her.
And I feel so bad for her because I feel like she is not as big as everybody makes her out to be. And everybody's like, Kanon's so fat, she's so big, why is she in the group? And people, especially on Tumblr, are brutal towards Kanon for no reason. And she's not even that big, in my opinion. I do not think she's that heavy. I think it's the way that the dresses are cut make her look so unflattering.
She's a bigger girl. She's a curvy girl. Girls got some, curves. But they just don't know how to handle that. And I don't think she knows how to handle it. I mean, she lives, they are a culture, and she lives in a culture where heavy setness is not... Curviness is not a standard. It's not what you see. So she doesn't know how to work it. They don't know how to photograph or dress it, really. I mean...
And I was pointing out to Jacob that this happened with Yosi when she hit her kind of chubby stage. It happened to Ogawa in her chubby stage. Tsunku tries real hard. He tries real hard.
But now that we've been talking about the group, I just wish that I could make Kanon a lead. You know, she's my favorite vocalist, and she's so much like Ogawa, and I just love her so much. And she has so much talent and potential. I just wish that she would lose a little bit of weight. You see our American fans are tearing her apart, and I see all of their tweets and all of their Facebook comments and their stupid blog posts on that hideous Hello Online, that godforsaken group. And I've seen all the comments they made about her. I'm going to make her a lead. I just need to let her slim down because they are so mean to her. I'm gonna go call Ogawa and get some inspiration from her. That Ken and Ogawa, they are so much the same. Ogawa had a weight problem one year, and we fixed that right up. I'm sure that Ken will get her weight problem.
Oh, why does he keep saying Ogawa and Kanon are like they're nothing like... Ogawa she was my favorite. She was my Reina before I knew Reina existed. Ogawa. Kanon. Time for Roman to go to work. Hi, Kanon. How you doing? You're having after lunch? Good girl. You know what? You just keep eating, sweetie. You just keep eating. Every bite you take brings you closer to stardom. Let me tell you, Tsunku is just waiting for you to hit that next bracket of curvy, and man, you're in. You're so in. Just keep eating, sweetie. Alright, good girl. Kisses! Oh god, what my ass! The dance is cool. I like this new thing that the choreographer is doing of the squiggly arm movements. That's been a trend I've seen the last couple times.
That weird, like, centipede thing that they did, though, where they were all, like, hunched over and, like, doing this weird thing with their arms. I felt like that looked kind of gross during Oda's parts.
The dances are really cool looking. There's something kinetic about them, but if you will notice, they're not very complicated. And this is me saying they're not complicated, who is not a dancer. An actual dancer who is trying to emulate this dance may disagree with me. But something about this, the focus is more on synchronized arm movements and where we can create dissonance with desynchronized movements more than it is footwork. I mean, there's still plenty of footwork, don't get me wrong, but I feel like in the past the choreographers have focused on,
them moving around
around complicated footwork,
forming shapes and things like that.
Yeah, and more dances. This is more these new dances, since 1, 2, 3 follow this pattern of, or even Only You kind of kicked it off, where it's like, we start out, we group in, we do something, we fan out, we do something, we group in and we do something, we could do, it's this sort of like...
And they're not cool
amoeba.
dances to watch if it's just one person. Like Sakura did a cover of Waku Take a Chance, and she looked good, she rocked it, but it looked kind of awkward by herself because these are dances that they're made, each girl has a piece that they're doing. It's not like in previous dances where each girl is doing the exact same dance. This whole set in this music video was, I think, the cheapest set that I've ever seen from Morning Musume because there was literally nothing. At least with Wakuteka, which was mostly green screen, they had the table and the chairs. They had something that they put a little bit of money into. This had very generic, like, it looked like it had rained. When they took the pictures of, like, locations, it was like a weird church that looked like it didn't even belong in Japan. Haruna was standing on train tracks for some reason. Sayumi was standing in the middle of a street, and there were a couple pretty ones where I think Sakura's was very pretty. That convention center that she was standing in front of, I'm gonna call it that. And Reina's, where she was standing in front of that big amusement park, like on a pier, that one was beautiful. The main scene where it looked like they were sitting in New York City, that's what it looked like to me. Although it very well could have been Tokyo.
To me, this music video with the sets, what they did was they tried to create like a computer world, because they very clearly made a point of showing the girls entering this MV as some sort of like hologram
like
projection. And the whole world was like, it was busy and it was alive and there's lights flying everywhere, there's signs flashing, but at the same time there are no other people, and even though there's lights like flying by them, they weren't actually anything other than just moving lights. They weren't cars with people in them, they were just like lights. So the way it looked, to me it looked like a very stylized computer information highway, like that cross section, like with files like flying by, and that's what the light was. It was like files and messages and all that, you know, internet information just flying by them, and in this big super center. Maybe this is because we just saw Wreck-It Ralph recently, but that's what I got from it. So I thought it was cool. It mostly looked like nonsensical, not real places that were created in a computer.
I also like how in the backdrop of the music video there was the giant moon that was like hanging over the world, and my personal thought was that it was so almost brilliant to me, and I don't know why it seemed so brilliant, but it was almost brilliant to me because the day that the dance shot video was released was on the day that the world was supposed to end, and a lot of people were like posting up pictures of Legend of Zelda and being like, the world's gonna end in 3 days, 72 hours left. I even participated in some of that. So I thought it was just fantastic that there was that giant moon that was like coming down to collapse.
That was me doing the moon is collapsing off the door.
I liked that. Finally, let's talk about the lyrics. The lyrics were tragic to me. The lyrics were really tragic. I feel like, and this is where I think that it sounded a little emo cake like the emo era, because there was so much sadness involved in it that it was almost like Resident Blue, like, please help me. I need you to show up. But it almost seemed dark too, like, you're not here, you're leaving me alone, you're leaving me out to dry. Are you in this place, this place, this place? Are you even in Japan? Where are you? And it felt helpless to me almost.
Whoever came up with the lyrics for this song was in a very dark, desperate place.
This was also the very first single in which we've heard names in Japan since Sakakoi no Uta. Like, prominent names in Japan, where we had locations. I don't think this has ever happened in a single before.
I really liked the way the lyrics and the dance came together when it was flap your wings, wings of glitter, and they all fanned out and flapped their glitter wings. Anytime they bring glitter into the situation, I'm all for it. Why does that sound so tacky to me? Flap your wings, little girl. Flap your glitter.
Ultra.
Oh no, why does it always go back to Pyoko Ultra? Oda. I hate to be the kind of person who's like, if you don't like it, then you're just wrong. But I mean, if you disagree that she has a good voice, you are mistaken. She has a wonderful voice. The difference is, her voice is very much not like any voice that's really been in Morning Musume for a very long time. Since I and Gaki left, we've pretty much been left with these sort of feather-light, nasal voices like Reina and Sayu, and then the new girls that came in. Those are the voices that we have now. and we've had in Morning Musume, and it's all been of that caliber. Now that they brought Sakura in, she's got a deeper, huskier voice, more along the lines of Gaki, more along the lines of Ai, more along the lines of a Yoshi. And I think if Sakura had been introduced back when all those girls were still in it, wouldn't be that big a deal. But because she's being introduced with this deeper, fuller, richer, husky voice, and a group of kind of high, feather, light, not really their voices, and as much as I love my Reina, let's be real, her voice is not strong. She's got a sort of voice. Yeah, Sakura stands out in not. I suppose it is a negative way because her voice doesn't mesh with the rest of the group. Clearly, the people who get on the case of certain singers in Morning Musume, to me, it sounds like it's mostly because they want that bubblegum, squeaky Japan voice.
I think they want a pop voice. And Sakura and Ai-chan and Gaki all sing like singers. They don't sing like pop singers. Because you've brought up Kesha multiple times throughout our history of Morning Musume reviews, and she doesn't sing. She is auto-tuned from my impression of what other people have told me, because I don't listen to her. But if you listen to something like country, where they are singing, and singing, and it's not poppy, you know, like if you were to stick, what's her name? If you were to stick Carrie Underwood in a pop song, she would stick out like a weird, awkward sore thumb because she's a singer. She's not a pop singer. And there's a very big difference.
If you put a girl band together, or even if you wanted to just pull from the world of pop, and it consisted of Katy Perry, Kesha, Carly Rae Jepsen, and then you throw in
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, and then you throw in Lady Gaga. Whose voice is going to stand out the most? It's not going to be Justin Bieber, it's going to be Lady Gaga. Because she sings full with vibrato. She's the one you're going to hear and go, whoa, who is that deep-voiced person who's singing with technique? I don't like it. And then Kesha and Katy Perry will sing, and you'll be like, yes. Carly Rae Jepsen will start singing, you'll be like, yes. So that is all that long-winded thing being said. Sakura Oda Sakura, is to Morning Musume what Lady Gaga or Carrie Underwood are to American music.
I did notice as a whole lyrically with this song, is usually in the really poppy songs that Morning Musume has done, the way that they sing is dun 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 dun. But in this one, I felt like they enunciated everything longer than they normally do, and they were like going, you know, the pinchi, which is one word, or pinchi kara. That's two words. That normally it would be like pinchi kara.
They were extending everything.
They were extending everything, and I think that that may have been done as like a nice little tribute to Oda, because normally they don't do that. And I think lyrically on a whole, this song was more sing-songy, as I pointed out about other songs in the past that were more sing-songy than like Resident Blue is a perfect example of that to me, is that it stood out in the Platinum era because it was sing-songy.
I think that's also a good reason why people might be thrown off by Sakura's lines, because you've got this sort of and it's like, what? It's like you're go 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 stop. You just hit a wall. And then it goes and then the group stuff is slower, but then you've got that driving like sort of behind it that keeps that momentum going. But then as soon as it goes into her lines, it completely bottoms out. It's a
completely different instrumental on top of it.
It's like you're going from to.
It's like Pyoko Pyoko, where we have two completely different songs going on.
Yes, it is. The wilder my hair gets, the crazier I'm into it.
I think Pyoko Pyoko is the perfect example to compare this song with, because Pyoko Pyoko had like this really like pingy doo-doo party song, but then there's this really slow melodic senpai thing, and that's how Help Me was, is we had this like bang 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 bang, Oda singing beautifully, and it effectively, to me, is like biting into like a Tootsie Pop, where you have this sweet, like candy, possibly like grape flavor, because grape is mine, and then you get to the middle and you have Tootsie Roll. Where Tootsie Roll is great if you're in the mood for a Tootsie Roll,
But when you want a lollipop and you bite into it and you get all chewy,
It tastes weird.
Just
But them on their own are not bad things. But putting them together and biting into it and getting both of those flavor complexities is odd. But you could appreciate both of them when they were separate. And I think that's what happened with Oda. And it was a little bit unfortunate because, like you said, she stuck out in a bad way. Not in a bad way. She stuck out in a good way. But it was bad the way that it was structured because it was literally a completely different instrumental. We've decided last minute to save our comment section from last week's video for the next video because this is an A-side we're reviewing and last time it was a B-side and we're reviewing a B-side next. Sorry that we cut our schedule and like we jumped into an A-side.
It threw us all off that the MV came out when it did and we apologize.
I was expecting this to be later. From everything that you think, do you think that Oda's voice stood out in a bad way or a good way?
My question is, how did you interpret this music video and the corresponding set? Like I said, my interpretation was sort of like a computerized world with hologram girls, like none of it is real, it all took place inside of a computer. How did you interpret it all? I would love to hear your ideas.
Well, that was new. It said that my camera was full. I apologize. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you all next week when we review another B-side. Ooh. Ominous B-side. And then we will see you whenever the next A-side is released.
That was your hint.
Oh gosh, now they know.
We have to give them hints every week, guys. Because this wasn't a giveaway.
We do that all the time.
Not just like, should we give them a hint? Winky winky.
So thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll see you all next week. Peace out. Take them out.
No! I've got nothing left. I've done everything. I've left him notes. I've cried for help and he does not hear me! #1 favorite, Roman Romaji. Oh, it's not Abe. Hello? Hello. Is this Roman Romaji? Yes, this is Roman Romaji. Yes, this is Mariko. Mariko Sunku. Mrs. Sunku Mario, so that's who Mariko is! Ooh, I have been wondering. I have been wondering. My name is Mariko, why does no one know my name? Listen. It's been 15 years since you've started working here and I've never met you face to face. I think it's time to change that, Roman. I need your help. I need you, Roman. I need you. Yeah, I can help you out. You need me. I'm here for you. We'll get drinks. Somewhere. Private, where people won't see us, because you sound like a hot mess. Okay, you're just sobbing. You're not even okay, you're not even saying anything anymore. Well, I'm gonna hang up now. Bye! Text me about drinks. Kisses! Damn! Everybody needs Roman today. Sunku, Mariko. Whole Sunku family needs me. It's a good day to be Roman.